Hey, good evening, Mep here, Mep Investments. Hope you're all doing well. Bringing you today's stock market action and economic news. So let's get to it. The Asia market, right now we got the Nikkei down 111 to 28,942. Shanghai and Hang Seng still haven't opened up. I think they'll open up here shortly in the next couple minutes. The futures are pretty stable, just down a little bit. Crypto, you got Bitcoin down 3% to down 16.57 to 53364. Ether XRP pretty flat. The dollar, last I checked, was up a little bit, but it's still under that 91 handle. You got the euro at 121, British pound 139. Gold had a little stumble today. At the get-go, we got down to about 17.56, 55, and it bounced back. So it seems to be that support at that high 1750s is that support area, and it came back like it should. Silver over 26, and copper over around the 450 mark, more or less. Oil had a nice day today, got up to over 65, and net gas is at 290. So we have oil creeping up to old highs. I think the last time we had a little run up on oil, I think we got up to 67, if my mind recalls correctly, 67, 68 handle. But I think we're going to be seeing here in the 70s soon, and much higher. Bonds right now, you got the yields up on the 10-year to 165, and let's take a look at the 30-year. 30-year right now is at 231, and I expect interest rates to climb. That's for sure. So the markets today, we had the Dow Jones up 0.71, 240 points to 34K plus. S&P up 6.8 percentage points, 0.68. Almost at a 30. At one point, I had a 30 handle, so 28.29 up today to 42.11. And the Nasdaq was kind of flat because they were waiting on Amazon's earnings, and that makes a big chunk of the index. Russell 22.95, down a smidge, and the VIX up a little bit. Amazon crushed earnings and was up after hours significantly, up 2.35%. It went away for some reason to 35.53. So my broken wing butterfly at the 3,700 strike, which I did a prior video. If you look at my archives, should be able to keep that credit. I don't foresee it hitting 3,700. It did hit after hours over 36.50, but anything's possible in the regular session. So we shall see if I keep that credit, or maybe it goes to 3,700. Maybe I pin that strike, but that's way out of the market maker moves. So Amazon crushed it. There were a lot of earnings today. A lot. Twitter was punished after hours. I have a broken wing butterfly at the 50. We'll take a look at it, but I want to say it's at the 58 strike. So I might have a good chance of pinning this one at the 58. We shall see tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday expiration, so I need to be active there, closing out all my in the money calls or whatever's close to it, and manage that. So tomorrow will be a busy day. Today I had about almost 40 trades, which is pretty incredible. I didn't feel like I was that active, but I did do 40 trades, and I'm trading very small, so that's maybe why I put a lot of trades on the board, because I'm trading very small and just looking for opportunities, and we'll go over what I did. Just going through the headlines here, see if I see anything that's prudent to to help you out with your news and your insights and your knowledge of what's going on and looking for opportunities. Ford got hit a little bit hard. They had good earnings, just they're going to have problems with that chip shortage, so that should hurt them. What else? I don't think there was a lot of news in the economic front. I can't recall well, actually there was. I'm sorry. We had the jobless claims, which came in. Let me go to the, let me see here. It should be here. It says economy here. Economy. Let's see if they have the jobless claims. So we had pending home sales. They rose less than expected in March as prices soared. So the sales rose less than expected. Didn't look into this article. Rose 1.9%. Didn't say here what the expectation was. The average fixed mortgage started the month at 322 and ended at 345. It started the year at 276. I was trying to refinance at 275, basically 276 where it started the year, because right now I'm currently on a 30-year at 375. So I could have dropped at a whole point, but Quicken Loans, when I was about to close, I didn't have employment, which is fine because I'm still paying my mortgage and I'm current and all that, whatever. And they didn't refinance me, so that hurt. They put that on airplane mode just in case they call me. I don't want to interrupt the video. So that hurt. So whatever, it is what it is. But right now they're almost back to where I'm at. The expectation was for a 5% gain, and so we only had pending home sales rose 1.9%. Now, I know that prices have been pretty high on the housing front. I don't know if they're attributing this to interest rates. Let's see. I would assume that they're probably saying inventory. Low inventory has been a consistent problem, but more inventory will show up as new home construction intensifies in the coming months. Home prices already sky high are continuing to rise as a pace not seen in 15 years. And I mean, it is incredible. My home has appreciated a lot, and the Miami market is pretty hot because a lot of people from New York and Texas, not Texas, but mainly New York and California, are looking for friendlier tax havens. The GDP news did come out. Consumer fueled economy pushes GDP to 6.4% in the first quarter. Let me see what the estimate was. I don't think they have an. Let me see. Accelerated. They were looking for a 6.4 increase. 6.5, and it came in at 6.4. So it's pretty even to the forecast. There's many variables in this GDP. Our GDP is usually 1.5% to 2%, more or less, and that's where it should be. But we have a lot of pent-up demand as the economy was closed, and we have a lot of stimulus. We have a lot of unemployment, so all that stuff is propping up the economy. We did have, as we open up, but we did. There's no headline here on the jobless claims. That was another economic news that came out today, and I think it was 550. So another 553,000 Americans filed new jobless claims last week, declining over the prior week. So, I mean, that's not good, if you ask me. And we also had, I think they had trade deficits came out. Let me see if there's any news on trade deficit. So a day ago came out. U.S. goods trade deficit vaults to record high in March. So we're just, we're consuming all this stuff and we're really not exporting a lot of stuff. And that's why our deficits continue to grow. Here's a Wolf Street says imports, trade deficit, and goods explode to worst ever. Powered by stimmies and decades of rampant offshoring. Imports of consumer goods spiked by 38%. Imports are not a sign of economic strength, but a drag on GDP. So keep that in mind, guys. It's very important to look at this data and realize what's going on. All right, so we talked about that was most of the economic news that I can recall, and I think we went through this. Let's take a look at some individual names. Copper hits a decade high. You guys know that I like Freeport-McMoRan, FCX. You can own stock. You can do calendar spreads. There's a lot of stuff you can do in that stock. But I own the stock because I think it's going to go much higher. And they do gold as well. Royal Caribbean CEO praises CDC's new path to resume cruises. Job creation could surpass 1 million in April as economy roars back. I mean, if the economy's roaring back, why are trade deficits are at at highs? I mean, why are 550,000 people applying for first time unemployment benefits? I mean, gotta realize that, I mean, and then you got people paying exactly what unemployment. I mean, I see a lot of now hiring signs, but why would anybody go back to work if they're getting the same on unemployment? That just makes no sense. Either you work. Would you rather work or have leisure? Now, if they pay you good money, then you say, okay, let me get off the unemployment. They're gonna pay me, where it makes sense. But there's costs associated with going to work. You got to get in your car. You got to put gas in your car. You need, clothes to look presentable. You're gonna put wear and tear on your car, brakes, tires. You gotta, unless you pack your brown bag lunch, you gotta go and get lunch out there. You gotta be stuck in traffic an hour each way. So there's trade-offs. It's not only tit for tat in regards to what if you're on unemployment, and what they're offering out there. Even if they offer you a little bit more, you gotta weigh the pros and cons. I mean, are you going to do all those things and have an extra tax on all those things and then go to work and have to deal with work, or have leisure? It's a no-brainer. So right now, the jobs out there are competing with the government until these unemployment benefits run out, and then that's when people will probably go back to work. So that's just my 10 cents on that. I mean, 2 cents on that, whatever you want to say. All right, so as vacation season nears, unvaccinated people could grow resentful. Interesting. Okay. I still haven't gotten the vaccine. I need to know what kind of blood type I am. They say blood type is immune to it. Who knows? Nobody knows about this. All right, so I think we've covered the headlines there. Okay, so let's take a look at the futures. The dollar is up a little bit. Really not doing much with foreign currencies. If you're a forex trader, you can also trade futures. It's like trading currencies. You got the pound and loonie up. Bitcoin up 645. Gold is down $1.30. Oil 65, a little bit under 65. S&P 500 down 8. Copper about the 450 mark. The hogs and feeders and cattle, they've been pretty stable. They've been trading sideways. We'll take a look at grains because we've pretty much looked at everything. Dow Jones down 34, NASDAQ 48 down. Small caps down 450. Platinum and palladium up a little bit. Silver down 10 cents. VIX a little bit up to under 20. And the grains are up. Corn up 2 to 650. Soybeans up 575 to 1508. And wheat up to 1734. And we talked about the bonds. The yields are going up. So the 10-year and the 30-year are down a little bit. On the order front, let's take a look at what I did here today. Covered some. Oh, actually, no. I bought the indexes on the sell-off this morning. So I bought the small cap S&P. I bought more gold and NASDAQ. I got filled in a broken wing butterfly for 6 cents to the call side for next week at the short 140. So I would like Apple to go to 140 for next week. AG is a silver miner. I did another small butterfly for a 2-cent credit. I would like to see AG at the 14 strike. Blink, they do charging for cars. Another butterfly at the 35 strike for next week. A lot of these are weeklies. Bristol Myers Squibbs got really hit today. This thing was down to a low of 62.40, closed down almost 5%. So what I did was calendar spread. I sold the May monthly 22 days to expiration and bought the June 50-day to expiration 65 call for $52. So that's my trade in that. If you guys follow my videos and pay attention to my videos, you guys remember the other day I did a calendar in Albertsons, right? So look at Albertsons calendar spread. I'm up on this calendar spread. I did 10, but I bought them really cheap. I think I bought them for 8 or 9 cents. I'm up $210 on, I think it was a $90 investment. Let's take a look at this so you can check out how these calendars work. And if you want to learn how to trade with very little capital, then you came to the right channel. So we could do 7 days because I did this trade this week. Okay, so I got filled in on this calendar when Albertsons got sold off to about the $18 mark. I bought this calendar. So what I did was I sold the May with 22 days to go, and I bought the June with 50 days to go, and I bought the 20 strike for 9 cents. I did 10 contracts. This was a $90 investment. This $90 investment is worth now $210. So they're big returns. That's a 233% return on the $90. So I think you should pay attention to these calendar spreads. They work, and they help you with time decay, which is theta. So let's go back to the orders. So I did that in Bristol Myers Squibbs because it was down big today. CrowdStrike was down pretty big today, so I did a butterfly to the downside, and I collected a 20-cent credit at the 200 strike. CrowdStrike's been pretty strong, so I did that. Dash, I had done a broken wing butterfly to the upside in Dash, which is right here right here. You can see I'm up $193 on these. I had sold the 165, 167 and a half, 175 butterfly when Dash was up. But today we had news on the gig economy that Uber, Lyft, and Dash got hit because the U.S. Department of Labor, I think they said they want to classify these workers as employees and not contractors. Let's look at that a second. U.S. Department of Labor, I think it was Labor, yes, on gig workers. Gig workers. Let's see if we have any news here. Okay, so Labor Secretary supports classifying gig workers as employees. So that's what happened today. You had your Lyft, Uber, and Dash hit pretty hard. So what I did was, since these are actually for next week. So I did the call side, but now I did the put side, as you can see. So I got filled on the put side. So I played both ends, if you understand what I'm saying. So I did the 130 short strike for a 7-cent credit. So DraftKings was down pretty big. I did 52 and a half on the put side. They got earnings next week, and I think I did this for May next week. Yep, for a 13-cent credit. EPD is I think they're a master limited company with the natural gas and stuff and energy. I did a small calendar just to be engaged. $29 trade on the 24 strike to the upside. $29, small trade. Did the same with ET, but I did 5 contracts at the 9 call. So 5 times 15, I don't know, probably not even $100. Facebook, I did. I bought back my broken wing butterfly that I had sold for about, I can't remember the credit I collected. I want to say 15 cents, 20 cents, and I bought it back for another credit. So I didn't want to deal with it tomorrow. I could have maybe tried to pin it at 230, but why take the risk? I made money on other trades in Facebook, and I was up nicely on the day on Facebook. I collected 100 and so right here. Here's my Facebook trade. You can see right here. I made $110 on Facebook today. So I'll take a look. I'll reevaluate it, and I don't think I have anything pending. Nope. The other stuff will expire worthless tomorrow. They'll all fall off worthless because they're all to the put side. So I'll keep all those credits. All right, so chugging along here. This video will be a little bit longer because I'm going through my orders, but I want to train you to understand that there's money to be made with not a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to get at. And that anybody can attain this at any level. FireEye was mentioned today at the halftime report. The Ninja mentioned them, and I've been watching them. So what I did was bought a couple calendars for 35 cents each, 34 cents each. The 22 call. So I sold the May 22 and I bought the June for a debit of 35 cents each, let's say. So $70 on this trade on FireEye. FUTU, I'm not cursing at you. Did a credit for 15 cents at the 140 put. It was down pretty big today. That one's a tough one. Let's see what happens. Gilead. What did I do in Gilead? Oh, I sold a call against my long call that I had, which was a good decision, just to collect a little bit. And I did a broken wing butterfly at $62.50 for earnings. They had earnings. Let's see where they're at. They're at 62 and change. So maybe I could pin them tomorrow at 62.50. So that was a 9-cent credit and earnings play bet. And let's see. Maybe I could pin it for an extra $50. Who knows? Goodyear bought a couple calendars at the 19. I think they report tomorrow morning at the 19 call for about $50 play. Lyft. I did a lot of stuff in Lyft. Lyft got hit hard. Yeah, they were down 10% on that gig economy news. And right away, immediately, I played them. I sold a bunch of put credit spreads. So I got one. I sold the 55 put and I bought the 54. This one I did for a 50-cent credit. So my max loss there is $50. I did one for 45 cents. I did another one for 41 cents. So I did 3. So I have 3 in there. They have earnings next week. And I know they got hit hard, but I think ride sharing, believe it or not, is doing well. And I'll give you a couple reasons why. Rent-a-car companies don't have many cars. And second, the rates are through the roof for rent-a-car companies. So I would assume people are using a lot of the transportation network companies like Uber and Lyft. So that's my 2 cents on that. Merck got hit hard today, down 5%, and I did them in tandem with Bristol Myers. I saw them both, so I bought a couple calendars at the 75 call for 56 cents. So it's a $56 bet on Merck to go back to 75, and I did a 5-cent credit at the 72.5 broken wing butterfly to the put side. NEO, I think NEO has earnings. I don't know did NEO's earnings come out? Yes, they did. And I had a butterfly at the 36.50, and it probably will not get there, and I just keep that small credit. Nike was up big today. Nike has some publicity issues. Let me get a swig of water. Nike has publicity issues with China, and I really didn't believe this big move today. They were up pretty big, so I sold a little butterfly here at the 137 strike for next week. Now was down big. They were down, 10%. I took a gamble on them. Maybe I should have gone further out. I'm at the 495 strike for a 30-cent credit for next week. We shall see on that. Royal Caribbean, 11-cent credit at the 80 strike to the downside. Now, when I say to the downside or upside, if I say to the downside is if it doesn't get down there, I keep my credit. And when I'm trying to, the best outcome would be if it goes to that 80 put side where I can pin it and make a $50, etc., extra money. And I'm getting paid to take the risk on. Team reported after hours. I collected $25 for tomorrow's earnings. They reported this afternoon at the 215 strike. I think they had good earnings, and they are at 240 plus. So I'm going to keep that $25 tomorrow. I keep that. Teva, I bought the 11 call. I did 2 of them, calendars to the upside. Teva was up pretty good. So I spent $50 on that trade. Telray, I did another calendar for $50 at the 24. Uber, I got filled on a broken wing butterfly at the 52. Is it 52 and a half or 52? 52. At the 52 strike. And Viacom, I closed for a profit, and I did a calendar in Verizon at the 60 for $50. And that was my day today. Today I was down a little bit. And I was down mainly because, let me see which my biggest losers. I could just sort them up here. TME, I was down on TME. It was down $1. And this is a trade that I'm a little bigger than I want to be. And I'm naked. So I need to make a decision here. I think they have earnings coming up. So I need to manage that and figure that out. Cliff, I have a lot of long positions in Cliff. I'm bullish in Cliff. Let's see what happens there. But they were down today about $1. KWeb, this is an ETF of China. With a lot of China names, down $1.20 on that one. I have a NASDAQ future, says I'm down 102, but I'm open on my PNL 153. And the NASDAQ is red right now, which is weird because Amazon reported a good number. So that's awkward. Pitney Bowes, I did a calendar, which is fine. The Mays can expire worthless, and I still got the Junes, no biggie. Wheat, down 100. Amazon, this will get corrected tomorrow. I should be able to keep all these credits in Amazon to the upside and downside. United Steel was down as well, so I'm down there. I'm long there. Freeport McMoran is down, but I'm still up overall on them. And then the rest were, some other ones that I'm in that, I got many positions, so you go down. These are all the negatives. If you want to look at the positives, you go over here and ascend it from positives. So Shopify had me a little worried, but it got to almost 300 and it sold off. Dash, we talked about. Home Builders, that one I'm not doing good. And we talked about Albertsons. Wing is doing good. Dish Network is doing good. ESI, I'm down overall. They had good earnings. They were up, but I got time on these calls. Extreme Network was a calendar. Facebook we talked about. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit that notification button, comment below if you have any questions on any other strategies. And have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.